Hello everyone and welcome to a spooky hair tutorial. You might be able to see in the background I've made it look a little bit more like a vampire lives here, and this I'm going to talk about a little bit. This in the middle here is actually just a bag. When we travelled to New York quite a few years ago, I bought a True Blood poster and it came in this really cool bag, and I always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to cut it up, frame it, and it took me 5 years. 5 years of being under my bed. Finally my vision came alive, and then at the top here this is just red nail varnish that I slowly poured down, and luckily, because my room at the time was really cold, it just it didn't go down too much, and this is the effect that I had in my mind, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. So yeah, super pleased. The only thing is I bought a frame that had nothing on the back of it, so I can't hang it up, which is great. But anyway, it looks good in the background here. So yes, today, if you want to look like a sort of elegant vampire, I have got quite a few different trinkets and stuff. Obviously, no one's going to have exactly the same, because this one here is actually just from a necklace that I kind of pulled apart. But I'd like to have this kind of coming down here. And I've got, obviously, love my hair cuffs. I'm just gonna be picking out the red ones today. Not sure how many I'll put in yet. I might be using a little bit of hair chalk at the end. Obviously there's no black, and I'm pretty sure the red is just going to come out looking a little bit orange. So I might use a little bit purple just on the braid part. I've also got these lovely red little rings here to put in the end. And then I've got some lovely little bit of red glitter to look a little bit bloody. Luckily, the light that I've currently got in makes me look even more paler than I usually am, so I really look like a vampire today. I haven't even got any white makeup on. So just middle parting, and then just from the back of the head all the way to the back of the ear. Same on the other side. Now it's sometimes difficult to get it exactly the same on the other side, so I try and drag this forward, and then I feel with my finger onto the other side. Roughly, it doesn't have to be exact. And just tie that part out of the way, so we've got these left. So you want this part to actually be quite thick. So I'm going to probably about that thickness. And then the fun part is trying to get it the same on the other side. So what I try and do, I just twirl this and lay it down the back. It won't stay completely, but at least you'll be able to see a little bit more. And then I try and twirl both of them. Hold this one in my hand here, twirl this one in the other, and then I'm just going to look in the mirror and just see if I'm happy with those parts. I think they look quite similar, so I'm happy with that. Now there's going to be lots of different sections that we've got to create because they're going to cross over and then back again. So basically making square sections. So I've made my first here, and then the part that's left I'm going to cut in half again. So it should basically be 3 sections. And this one I'm going to tie. As you can see, 3 sections. But the other side is going to be slightly different. So my zigzag is going to start from this side because this is nice, free and available. And then it's going to cross over to this side. So I want the middle to be free. And then we're going to bring it back over to that side. And of course we've got the back piece. It's complicated, but you'll know what I mean once I start doing it. So this front part we're going to tie. This middle section we're going to keep free, and the back one we're going to tie. So here in this little pot I've got, it's kind of like a sheer butter kind of mousse, and that's just going to keep all the hair nice and slick and smooth. So just the top part of all the free sections, I'm going to put this butter on. So I'm going to be directing my hair over towards the left side. Further towards the other piece of hair that's now free, so I'm going to start adding that in. So I'm you can see I'm going over. Now I want to start moving my hands a little bit towards the back. Once I get over to this side, I'm going to pick up the other free part of hair. Braid just a little bit down, and then I'm going to put a hair tie. That's the first zigzag. Now trying to make the other one look the same. Just take out all the hair ties that were left.
Vicious. Like that.
Okay, then we're just going to do 2 braids on the side there. This is quite a difficult one to do, so I had to take out this one several times, go back into the mirror, really have a look, because of course I really wanted it to try and be exactly the same as it is on the other side. No easy task when you're doing it on yourself, so don't worry if you get frustrated. I had to have a bit of a break, 2-minute break for my arms, and then go back again.
Vicious.
And then just repeat that one on the other side. Take the rest of your hair out once you're done. And you should look a little bit weird like this. Now we're just going to combine all of those braids together at the back. And I'm just going to cover that with this nice black ribbon. Just going to do a nice little black bow at the back of that. Now decoration. So what I've done is I've actually just gotten these types of little loops. You can actually buy them on their own, which means that you can make all sorts of different hair trinkets. I'm just going to loop it through the end of this necklace that I made much shorter. Do a little bit of the chalk now. I've got one of these slabs of chalk, hair chalk, so I'm just going to put that in a little bit of water and I'm just going to rub on the top parts. Now red glitter, I'm just going to put it in these spaces here and to apply it with a little bit of mousse. Just a little bit of red shimmer, and of course this look won't be right without some vampire makeup. I actually made out of all sorts of bits and pieces that I found, and then I put 2 chains. And then what you do is, if you can see at the back, the chain goes all the way round. So I've made quite a few of these actually, and I'm going to start selling them on Vinted. If you like gothic ones, I've also got an old-fashioned kind of Victorian one that I found. So if you're interested, I have put my Vinted name down below. Now, if you wanted to know where I got my fangs from, as you can hear, I can still speak. Not overly easy, and I can't talk quickly. But the ones that I found that are simply the best, they are quite expensive, but if you get them online, they are much cheaper. So they're called the Scarecrow ones. And you can get all sorts of different sizes. These are the smallest ones that you can get, because I can just about close my mouth. If I had anything bigger or larger, I think I'd probably find it very difficult to talk. There's no way I'll be able to eat in these. So it will be purely a party with drinking and with a straw. But they are amazing, and you get like this little paste that you have to create, and then that kind of fixes onto your tooth. It's still very easy to take out, but it just means each time you put the tooth back on, the mould kind of knows where your tooth was before, and so it just sort of, yeah, they stay on quite nicely. I can do quite a lot moving around my mouth, and they seem to be okay. So yeah, I mean, the ones that I found were in London, and these were £17. As I said, if you get them online, they might be £12.99 or something, but definitely worth the money. They are incredible. All right, well, that's my tutorial for today. I hope everyone has a very spooky, wonderful Halloween, and I will see you next time.